What's up, guys? Going live here in a second. Thank you. Just got off work, man. About to go live with a boxer, UFC fighter in Australia. He's going to hop on live here in a second. We're going to talk about fitness, talk about daily habits and routines. I'm really excited for this one, so as soon as he gets on, we'll get things rolling. He just has to request me. Here we go.
Here we go.
Yes, here we go.
Finally. How are you, mate?
Hey, I'm doing well, thanks. It's 6:23 p.m. here right now.
Here
I just got
is
off work.
10:23 in Australia, Sydney.
Oh, yeah? How's your day going?
The day is going good. I had some personal training this morning. I trained myself and now I just got back home.
Oh, yeah? What'd you train today?
I trained a couple of clients because I'm a boxing coach, and I trained myself. I did legs today. Friday's legs.
Nice. Nice. Friday is legs. I will
Legs.
I will not be doing legs tomorrow. Tomorrow I'll be doing upper body. I did legs yesterday.
But good on you that you are still training during those days.
Excuse me. So I wanted to go live with you here so that we can talk some fitness, some routines, daily habits that we're doing here, see if people can benefit from our little interview that we're going to do. So before we get started, kind of tell everybody what it is that you do here and how you got started on your fitness journey, on your coaching journey. I see you got a lot of followers on Instagram. So kind of give us like the quick elevator pitch on who you are and what you're doing.
I am from Italy. I'm a professional fighter. I started boxing when I was 14 years old. So now I'm 32 in a few days, which is 16, 17 years of boxing. I started with personal training of boxing since when COVID kicked in and I couldn't fight anymore. So anyway, I needed to find a way to make a living, and I started to teach boxing to people. So let's say mostly my main job, it's boxing, it's fighting. I won 5 Italian championships when I was in Italy. I've been fighting for the Italian boxing team the last 5 years of my boxing career in Italy. I've been going to 2 European championships, 1 World Championship, 1 pre-Olympic tournament. I honestly didn't win a medal, but anyway, still beautiful experience to be there with all those champions. And then I traveled here in Australia. In Australia, I turned professional fighter. And here we are with 6-0. Been fighting either in Vietnam, either in Korea. I won 2 belts, WBF Australasia and WBA Asia. Plenty of achievement, but COVID kicked in and I had to take a stop for 2 years now. So hopefully it's over.
Nice. Okay. So what is the goal of your boxing and coaching? What you're doing right now? Do you want to get back into boxing? Do you just want to grow your coaching clientele? Are you trying to like go to the UFC or
Okay,
like what's your long-term and short-term goals?
The goal is to anyway to have a fun. Whatever I'm doing, if it's boxing, if it's coaching or whatever it is, I just want to have a fun. I find out that coaching is really nice because it's a beautiful satisfaction to see in the eyes of your clients, which they, by the way, they become even best friends. You see that they are satisfied of the training. So I think it's really important to give. Now, wherever it is, if it's money, if it's time, if it's energy, if it's knowledge, it's really important to give. In boxing, my goal is to keep having fun. At the moment, I think I'm an adrenaline junkie. because I really like motorbikes, go fast, wheeling, these kind of things. So I think that I like boxing because it's giving me adrenaline. Career, it's something that go parallel to what I'm just saying. But anyway, I just hope to go as much up as I can with boxing. I'm not setting limit, I'm not setting boundaries. Definitely the first step is gonna be to win the Australian title, and then from that go up. I just found a really good coach, which I'm really proud and lucky and blessed that I have. So definitely I'm gonna go far away.
Yes, this sounds amazing, dude. I'm very happy for you. I'm looking forward to watching your journey here on Instagram for sure.
Yeah.
Um, I was looking through your profile and I see that you're big on advocating for people kind of living their best lives, for people not kind of being a slave to the social norms, for example. Like I watched one of your videos where you kind of had a vlog where you talked about a lot of people, how nowadays people just kind of, you're basically subject to whatever they're talking about in the music industry or on TV. People are just talking about money or women or
Yeah, we are a bit
all
stuck in
drugs.
this matrix. Yeah.
Yeah. And so I wanted to talk to you about that because I definitely have similar feelings to you as well. Because it seems to me nowadays that everybody wants a quick fix. Nobody wants to put in any work,
Yeah.
even when it's easy. And I feel like you and I have the tools to where we can make it easier for people. But everyone right now is so sucked into what the music industry is saying or what kind of fear-based garbage you're getting on the news. So I
Yeah.
wanted to ask how you felt about that, kind of get your feelings on here so that we could discuss that.
Thanks to COVID, I let's say I break the matrix. Before I was one of the few person just chasing for brands, to the best shoes, the best watch. You are a bit. Look, it's about we all have a big brainwash since day one that we born, just because we watch TV and this is
Right.
the surrounding that we are living in. We think that this is the reality, but it's not. It's not. They want to sell
Right.
us the American dream, which is work, make money, and then one day you will
Mm-hmm.
do the life of your dreams. But people slowly start to wake up. People slowly start to realize that you need to live the present more than living in the future or in the past. You need to live the present, enjoy every day, living the people. Making money, working 9 to 5, just give you a bad mentality of what the real life is, because you are not really enjoying what's happening. You are like in a mouse wheel. You go to work 9, come back at 5. You don't have much time left for yourself. And that's what you do. And that's what you do for years. You get sad. You spend 30, 40 years doing that. And you don't even realize why. But the brainwash comes from Hollywood. The brainwash comes from music. The brainwash comes from watching other people, what they do, which is exactly what we are doing, because we are everybody in this matrix, doing everybody the same things. That's
Of course.
why it's sometimes really even difficult to speak about those things with somebody.
Yeah, I agree 100%. Now, of course, we can't ask people to just stop listening to music or stop watching TV, or stop getting on Instagram, because that's not realistic for a vast majority of people.
Of
So, what's some
course.
advice that you give to people to kind of help them to stay in that present moment that you were talking about, and also just to be themselves and not worry about being other people or what Hollywood or music industry wants you to be?
The few tips I can give, it's, as I said, for my job that I'm chasing the happiness, is to be chasing the happiness. So whatever you do, take a seat, look in yourself. Is it something that makes you happy? Yes, keep going. Is something that you're doing for somebody else? Why you actually buying these shoes? To be more accepted from the society. So you know, you're doing it for somebody else, you're not doing it for yourself. And to buy these shoes means I need to work for 20 hours non-stop. Does it really make you happy? I don't know. In the 2020, let's say 90% of the people doesn't do the job that they love. You know what I mean?
Right.
If you are in the 10% of the people that love what they do, okay, go for it, make money, and this is just, you know, the result of feeling your feeling. Because I think that if you chase the happiness, money comes. Sooner or later, money comes.
Oh
But
yeah.
if you just work, you need to understand why you're working, for who you're working. You're working just to look good for who? For other people, for the people in Instagram. This doesn't make me happy, you know what I mean? So I think the best tip is always to chase the happiness. Whatever you're doing, does it really make me happy? Why am I doing it? Sometimes we don't really think like that. We don't really take a seat because it's the life to push us to run 9 to 5. You don't have time to, you have 30 minutes to eat and then take the bus, run, take the train. So we live in this constant speed, you know what I mean? That
Yeah.
sometimes we forget how important it is to take a seat, ask yourself, why am I doing that? Is it for me? Is it for him? Once you are capable to do that, you will start to choose happiness rather than I need to look good, I need to do this for him, I need to do that for, you know what I mean? And this is where you start to live the present, you start to live properly, you start to have happiness.
Oh yeah, definitely, dude. And I advocate a lot for everybody's got a smartphone.
Yeah,
Get out the notes app on your iPhone and make like a vision board, even if it's just like a small list of pros and cons. For example, if it's your job, make a small list of pros and cons, like why am I doing this? What are the pros of this job and the cons of this job? And if the cons outweigh the pros, then maybe it's time for you to start searching for other avenues of what you could do for work, or
correct.
whatever the case may be. Um, and that's especially when it relates to fitness. That's something that it took me genuinely a long time to learn, because in my younger years, especially when I was in high school and college, I just wanted to exercise to look better for other people. I wanted to look better for women or whatever the case may be. I wanted to look like I was Mr. Tough Guy. And so I would do workouts that I didn't enjoy, just so that I could get bigger, or so that I could fill up my body with volume, or with blood, muscle mass, not even necessarily muscle mass, but just massive volume to get that like pump. And I did these workouts that I hated, and I wasn't necessarily getting stronger. And I would only be able to do that for so long, like working out 6 or 7 days a week, for an hour a day, like every single day, before I would become miserable. I would plateau and I would quit. And
Let
after
me
I
ask
quit,
you, how old are you?
then I would lose all my gains.
How old are you?
I'm 29.
29. And how old were you when you start to do fitness for that purpose?
Oh, when I started doing that, that was probably like 10 years ago. So I've learned a lot since then.
Look, that's totally nothing bad if you started for that purpose, because when we are young, we live still in the matrix. You know, we're born in the matrix. But
Oh
after
yeah.
30, this is when you put a shift in and you start to see the life differently. So let me tell you, I start boxing for the same reason, because I wanted to be the tougher one in the street. I wanted to punch people. I go to the gym to do mass, you know what I mean, to impress women. But then you understand it's totally different. So it's totally normal that you started because of that, but it's really important that after a bit you shift. You know what I mean? You change mindset. You understand these things. Unfortunately, a lot of people after 30, after 40, after 50, they still don't get what they're doing stuff. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, dude, absolutely. And it took me a while before I started to actually realize the kinds of workouts, for example, that I really enjoyed.
Yeah.
Because when I was doing that, like about 10 years ago, I thought that that was just the only thing I could do, just the standard growth split. Like, oh, I'll do an arms day, a chest day, a back day, a legs day, and I'll just do that every single day, for the rest of my life. And that's just not obtainable or sustainable.
Of course.
And so now I go to the gym 3 days a week. I focus on reverse pyramid training. I'm a big advocate for intermittent fasting, and prolonged fasting for that matter, which promotes muscle retention. So it's just been so much of an easier and more realistic and peaceful lifestyle, as opposed to that just go, go, go all the time, never stop, because you can't expect to be able to do that forever unless you're willing to be a slave to your fitness. And that's something
Let,
that I wasn't willing to do.
let me ask you, how do you do your fasting?
So right now I focus on intermittent fasting. So I primarily stick to like between a 16 to 18-hour fast every day.
Yeah.
But in the summer times, I'll push it a little bit longer. I'll do 23-hour fasts and just eat one massive meal every day. Um, but occasionally, probably like 2 or 3 times a year, I'll do some longer dry fasts. Like about a year ago, I did a 3-day dry fast.
Dry
Um,
means without water.
correct. And those have just absolutely profound benefits to not just not just physically, but also like mentally, emotionally, and
100%.
spiritually as well.
100%. I had the experience to have one of my best friend that did fasting, and he gave me a lot of good reason. He showed me some good documentaries, which they motivate me to do that. I started from 3 days fasting. I don't have a middle, I don't start with 16 hour or
Oh,
24
you went
hour.
right
I
into it,
just
man.
go straight.
Hardcore. You're an outlier.
Was
Most
really
people
hard.
cannot do that.
I know, but because food for us in the 2020, it's linked to a lot of things. It's not just food alimentation, but it's a social moment. It's linked to emotion. For example, you go to eat, you link to a beautiful meal, you link a date, or you can link a catch up with a friend. So for us in the 2020, food means a lot of things. That's why I understand it's really difficult, but I like challenge. That's why I'm a professional fighter. That's why I like this stuff. I like challenges.
Hmm.
So I did this fasting, which was an incredible experience, and I suggest to everybody. I didn't do the dry fasting. I was still drinking water, which was keeping me alive. But what I can say is that you suffer the first day, and you can confirm that. You suffer the first day, then the second, okay, fasting means not coffee. And for an Italian, coffee, I was in this matrix as well. Coffee, if I don't drink coffee, I don't wake up. If I don't drink coffee first, I don't talk with nobody, bullshit. When you do those kind of experiments, you understand that we live in a matrix. So
Absolutely.
the second day, you don't feel hungry at all. You feel miserable because, of course, not taking coffee is like an addiction. Coffee become an addiction. So
Of course.
getting rid of even this mental addiction as well. The second day you feel not really hungry, but anyway miserable mentally. The third day was the revelation because I woke up from the bed like a cyborg. When you switch on a cyborg, I woke up from the bed. I was
You
alert.
flick the
I was
switch.
I was alert, because then I understood carbs slow you down, so your body down. That's why when you have a big meal, a big pizza the night before, the morning you wake up, really slow. You wake up really, carbs slow you down. I also had a lot of spiritual realization, always speaking about the matrix, because during the day I saw people running everybody to those food court, and this is where I watched the time. I was like, oh, it's midday, so everybody is going to eat, and I was like, I'm not hungry. How possible everybody around me is hungry at the same time? You know what I mean? How possible if Danilo wake up at 6, Giancarlo wake up at 8, Cristiano wake up at 7, we are all hungry at midday? So this is where you start to understand that they program you to do stuff, and humans get habit. We are people that get really habit quickly. You know what I mean? We get habit to everything, and this is where I realized that how possible we all eat at the same time. It's not possible. That it just made me realize a lot of stuff. Also, powerful tool to detox your body, to rejuvenate yourself. Incredible experience. I suggest fasting to everybody. It's tough, but must be done. At least once in a lifetime, it's an experience that you want to do. Exactly like people try drugs, try bungee jumping, try this and that. You want to try fasting for 3 days. Beautiful experience.
Oh yeah, I agree with you 100%. And I'm glad that you compared it to like trying drugs like psychedelics, for example, because when you're in that fasted state for upwards of 48 to 72 hours, it really is a psychedelic experience. You'll
I
start
agree.
to you'll start to see things for what they could be or should be as opposed to what they are.
Yeah.
Um, and I absolutely agree with you as far as living in the matrix goes. And I never thought about it like that before, but it is an absolute matrix of our own making. And it's of the making of the, pharmaceutical industry and the food industry, because they've really trained people, or rather technically brainwashed people, to believing, oh, I need to eat 3 or 4 meals a day. I have to eat the first thing that I
I
do when
need
I wake up.
coffee, otherwise I can't
Yeah.
wake up, I
I,
can't work.
yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, why do you believe that? And then people will say, oh, well, everybody knows that. Well, that's absolutely ridiculous. Like that's asinine circular reasoning.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I advocate for doing these long fasts often, but not super often. Like, obviously, you can't be doing a 3-day dry fast every week, or you're going to mess your metabolism up. Now, again, it does depend on how much body fat a person has, because your body will use the body fat for energy when you are doing a fast. And if you're
Yeah.
doing a dry fast, um, your body will not suck, but will take the water out of your fat stores, because obviously there's water in your body fat.
Yeah.
So it puts your body in a position where you're in an accelerated rate of fat loss. Okay? So that's something that a lot of people don't get, and especially people that are overweight and obese, something that can absolutely melt the fat off them. And that's why I wanted to start my fitness YouTube and fitness Instagram in the first place, because a lot of people don't see this, because there's a stigma against fasting. People think, if you tell the average person, oh, I did a 48-hour dry fast the other day,
Yeah, they
they're going
think
to
you're
look at you
crazy.
like
Yeah.
you're crazy. They'll think you're crazy for real, man. Like even educated people will look at you and think, oh, that person has an eating disorder. And that's simply not the case. As long
Yeah.
as you maintain control of your fasts, you don't have a disorder. Now, there are people that have, anorexia and bulimia, and maybe fasting is not for them, because those are people that can't control how long their fast goes for, or how long before, they purge, or whatever the case may be. But if you can maintain control, then you don't have a problem. You don't have a disorder. In fact, this isn't even necessarily a diet, it's a lifestyle. And if you think of like ancient humans, and even God's people in the Bible, this is how they just naturally ate. This wasn't like a diet to them. This is just a natural lifestyle. So
Yeah.
it shows me
I
that
agree.
this is how humans are supposed to operate. This is how the human body is meant to operate. Like if you look at bears, for example, obviously we aren't bears, but we're still mammals, and they hibernate and eat absolutely nothing for like a fourth of the year.
Yeah.
And look at them. They're made out of, bears are like what? Like 80% muscle. Of course, they're still fat too. But bears are extremely powerful and strong, and they fast for a majority of the winter time,
Yeah.
So this is stuff that just people don't see it. And the reason why people don't see it is because,
Because they don't show it in the TV.
exactly, because of Hollywood and music and TV and pharmaceuticals.
I agree with that. I agree with that. Look, fasting is not even something for looking good, but I would give the priority to health, extremely healthy. It's extremely healthy. And again, I suggest everybody to do it like an experience for your life, because it will open. Look, when I was doing fasting, the third day of fasting, as you can see, I'm really hyperactive when I talk and when I move a lot.
Same here.
Fasting, just because I was in standby, just because I had not a lot of energy, my body was slowing me down. I was talking much slower, like normal people does. I wasn't moving anymore like a hyperactive ADHD. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's an experience, an unbelievable experience to everybody taking a different way. Mentally, for example, I wasn't anymore thinking to 200 things like everybody we always do during the day, but the brain becomes much more sharp. You think about 20 things, not anymore 2000 things a day. You know what I mean? So it's
Right.
just an incredible experience. I suggest everybody to do it.
Yeah, and the reason, just so everybody knows who's going to watch this, because I'm going to post this to my YouTube later. Um, the reason why your body does that is because, and you probably already know this, is because instead of focusing on breaking down food, your body is focused on healing itself, and
I
it's
agree.
focused
Yeah.
on mental clarity. It's focused on things that can really bring out the best in you, for example. And that's why I compared it to a psychedelic experience, because people who will use, mushrooms or LSD, um, will have these like aha moments where it brings things out of their subconscious, it brings it to life, or brings it to light, and it's something that they would have never been able to experience or think of beforehand. And it really helps people, with trauma or with um, negative experiences in their life or childhood trauma, to get past that and to grow from that. And fasting does the exact same thing.
It's an incredible tool. It's an incredible tool. Useful for the health, useful for the fitness, useful for the everyday life. For the everyday life, the benefit is that in 3 days of fasting, I save $200-300 of food. You know
Yes,
what I mean?
that's
It's
that's
just
another
good
thing
in
I was
every
going to bring up.
aspect. Only for the
Saves
pharmaceutical
so much
company
money.
is not good if you fasting because you fix your body by yourself and they don't want that.
Right.
But otherwise, for everything else, number one.
Yeah. I have a
What's your
friend.
diet? What's your diet? How do you eat?
Yeah, I was just gonna say I have a friend that's doing it too. But so right now my meals consist of mainly meat and potatoes. I love meat and potatoes. Potatoes are extremely nutritionally dense. They're actually so nutritionally dense that they will grow roots out of themselves without even being
Yeah.
planted. Um, other foods that do that are like carrots and onions, all kinds of tubers, for example, just foods that grow underground. Tubers is what I mean by that. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, I love meat and potatoes because I can meal prep it all at once, like in the crock pot or something, and then just heat it up and eat it later. And then I will still have, pasta as well, because I do love to eat pasta. So just so I don't get sick of meat and potatoes all the time,
Yeah.
I'll switch it up. I'll have some pasta with meat sauce, or some casserole with tuna. But mainly I do stick to meat and potatoes. How about you?
In theory, I should have a variety of carbs and protein, which means, for example, my dietitian told me to eat 2 days pasta, 2 days a week pasta, 2 days a week to eat rice, 2 days to eat potato, 1 days legumi. How can I say legumi in English?
It's
Uh,
legume. You don't pronounce it.
Bravo, bravo, legume. So this is what I should do and get all my nutrients from all those food. And same for the protein. 2 days red meat, 2 days white meat, 2 days fish, and another day anything. I don't eat tofu. I don't eat tofu. But anyway, even vegetable are plenty of proteins. Sometimes I do 1 day just vegetables.
Nice. Yeah, dude, I absolutely love that. You've definitely brought it down to a science. Some people need to do that because they need it to be very strict, very on the paper, to see, which is great that you do that. I have a routine that works for me. Um, but I was gonna ask you about the legumes. What kinds do you stick to? Because for me, the only ones I really respect are like cashews and walnuts. I don't really believe in um, seeds. I don't really believe in eating seeds or peanuts. I feel like those are low quality legumes. So I was gonna ask what you stick to.
Chickpea, peas, all of them, all of them. Again, if you have to aim on just legumes, it's really important that you pick the right one. But if you eat legume once a week, I've got a lot of variety. This week I can eat this, that next week I can eat that. You know what I mean? I'm not really picking on which one I'm eating.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. Um, and then
Lentils as well.
okay, lentils. You said.
Yeah, lentils.
Yeah, I think lentils are super filling. I really don't like lentils, but You can eat lentils, man, and you can get absolutely stuffed eating lentils, right?
Yeah.
It's very filling.
Actually, an Italian tradition is to eat lentils in New Year's. Like tonight in Australia, we're gonna eat lentils.
That's awesome. Yeah, my dad's mom was Italian, and so we used to eat lentils growing up on New Year's every year.
Okay, because means money.
Is that what
It's
it
for,
means?
yeah, wishing money. You wish money if you eat lentils in New Year's.
Nice. I didn't know that.
Freaking Italian, huh?
That's awesome. How long have you been living in Australia? I'm assuming you were born in
Six
Italy.
years, 6 years, 7 years.
Okay. How are
Beautiful
people?
country.
How are the people there? Because I know in America, a lot of people are obese and overweight. But I've heard in other countries like Italy, Australia, European countries, most people are in pretty good shape.
In
Would you
Australia,
agree?
they love fitness. In Italy, I was waking up at 6 a.m. in the morning. You go in the street, you don't find nobody, not even the rubbish man, the rubbish bin, the man that cleans the street, not even him. In Australia, if you wake up at 5, you see people running on the beach, surfing. They love fitness. Most of my clients that I train, they want to train at 6, 6:30. So they love training. They love training.
That's so awesome, dude. Wow. That's like unheard of. I kind of want to go. I kind of want to go to Australia now.
It's a great place, bro. It's a great place. I came here to stay 1 year for an holiday, and now I'm stuck here since 6, 7 years because it's a great place. You get 11 months of sun every year, uh, plenty of opportunity. Now, taking COVID apart, plenty of working opportunity. The wage are really big wage. People, it's lovely people. Just because it's a really touristic place, you find all people with the same age, with the same mindset. So everybody, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful place. I loved it.
And what part are you in? Are you in Sydney?
Sydney, yeah. And
Okay.
I never moved from here. I had a couple of road trip up and down, but at the moment I like Sydney. I put my roots here.
Okay. Now, are you fighting in Sydney or are you just
Yes,
okay?
yes.
Um, have you ever been on like I don't know how it works there. Do they televise boxing there?
Say again?
Is it televised?
Yes, Fox Sport, Dazan, anyway, few main media stream, they stream the video. It's televised.
Awesome. Yeah. I did want to ask you about your workout routine, like what you typically do. We talked about nutrition, we talked about fasting, but when you do exercise, when you go to the gym, what do you focus on? I know you said that you had a leg day today, but do you mix it up? Like, do you do some like boxing type of workouts, or do you just do um,
Just because it's my
aerobic?
job, I go to gym twice a day.
Mhm.
Uh, Morning, I got a routine. For example, for weights is on Monday chest, on Wednesday back, on Friday legs. But anyway, during those days in the Arvo, I go to do boxing. Even the boxing is structured with days that I do foundation, like simple punches, but you repeat it 1,000 times until it becomes perfect. There are days that you do advanced, so you put your gloves on and you partners up with somebody which is a professional fighter and you training technique. There are days that you do basic, you do something else. So every day it's structured in a different way. There are days I do pads with my boxing coach. So even boxing is structured in a different way. Weights 3 times a week. The morning that I don't do weights, I go to run or do swimming or anyway. Every day, two sessions a day.
Nice. Okay,
Long story
so
short.
yeah. So do you do um, the coaching in the morning and the training in the evening, or do you
Yes.
do training both morning and evening?
I do coaching people at 6:30 in the morning, and then I give all the time for myself.
Nice, nice. All right, man. we were able to talk about just about everything I had on the list for us to talk about. Was there anything else you wanted to bring up?
No, we spoke about fitness, we spoke about diet, we spoke about the matrix, we spoke about everything, everything that is in my control.
Yeah. So we can go ahead and end it here. This was awesome today. We were able to talk about everything we wanted to. Is there anything you want to promote here? Like I said, I'll post this to my YouTube channel afterwards. Anything you want to promote? Of course, everyone can follow you on Instagram here.
Coincidence, guys, follow this brand LSKD, which is a sponsor of clothing, but anyway, they helping me a lot with boxing. So thank you to mention that, thank you to remind me that. And I also want to say everybody Merry Christmas and the best wishes for the new year, which is coming in Australia in a few hours.
In a few hours, yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. Wow. Yeah, man, time flies. Well, hey, this has been great. We'll definitely have to do this again sometime. I'll post on my story when I post this to YouTube. I'll probably post it tonight or tomorrow. Otherwise, it's been great talking to you.
Thank
We'll
you.
stay in touch, brother.
Thank you for the invite and stay in touch.
Yes. All right. Peace out.
Happy New Year, brother. Bye,
Happy New
guys.
Year.
Ciao,
Bye-bye.
bro.